Both my kids fell asleep at the same time in the midday nap, and they haven't done that in months. How did I avoid the task paralysis? This little song: be fed, hydrated, rested and medicated, relieved and regulated all day. Be fed, hydrated, rested and medicated, relieved and regulated all day. You cannot pour from an empty cup, so please, my darling, fill yours up. You cannot pour from an empty cup, so please, my darling, fill yours up. First thing I did, since I'd been breastfeeding one of my kiddos to sleep and I was all achy, was a really quick just stretch routine. I think sometimes I get caught up with thinking I have to do like 10 minutes of yoga to really be like taking in full advantage of my body's stretch routine. But I don't need to do a full routine. I just need to breathe deeply through my nose, out through my mouth, while I go through the motions. And I just, I know them now. I can do some quick cat dogs. I can do a quick child's pose. I could do some quick thread the needles. And as long as I'm doing them with intention, I don't need to stay there for long periods of time in that really relaxing kind of yoga vibes. I can just kind of move through it. And I did that for 5 minutes or so, and my body felt so much better. Because let's be honest, breastfeeding moms, like, your shoulder falls asleep, your neck gets tight, all the things. It's a problem. So that was the first thing I did. That's my regulated. I needed to get regulated. I was feeling so tense. The next thing on that to-do list of self-care was be fed. Like, that was like the most important one. So first was I needed to be regulated and then fed. Obviously, while I'm eating, I'm also drinking, so I'm being hydrated. I had been resting, so I was well rested. That's putting your kids to sleep and deciding whether or not to stay asleep with them. I got a little bit more relaxing rest. So fed, hydrated, rested, medicated. I checked in. I don't need any medicine, but I did have a little bit more coffee. I had my second cup of coffee of the day. So that's my caffeine, my medication. If you need meds, then take them. Just take them, okay? I love you. No shame. You need them, take them. And then, of course, relief. I always, if I have to use the bathroom, you don't mom on a full bladder. It does something to you if you're trying to hold something in like that. You can't fully mom. So relieved, regulated. Only then have I started getting to the other list, which, amazingly, I can still keep on working on because they're still asleep an hour later. Because that's really what the task paralysis does to us. We don't know how long they're going to both stay asleep. And it can be really stressful to be like, I need to get that cantaloupe cut up. I have to. It's starting to rot on the very bottom. If I don't cut that off, the whole thing will be wasted. I'm going to do that first. Meanwhile, you have to use the bathroom and you haven't had your lunch yet. And your neck is all tense and your shoulders are all tense. No. First be fed, hydrated, rested, medicated, relieved, and regulated, and then cut the cantaloupe. And look, I'm not an expert. I just know what works for me. And if this helps you, follow along for some more mom tips, life vlogs, singing ditties that help us just get through. I'm glad you're here, and I'm proud of you. Okay, as I was editing that video, they woke up, and immediately this one was so fussy, like so fussy. And if I had prioritized getting a cantaloupe cut, but not going to the bathroom or getting fed or hydrated, or regulated or medicated or any of my self-care to-do lists, I would not have been able to handle the screaming that happened, like 0 to 100. I had to hear all the screaming, get him secured, run down to the car to get the baby carrier that he clearly so needed. And now he's calmed down again, but I was able to handle the situation with grace. Next time, get the baby carrier upstairs in case of emergencies. You don't have to abandon him for 30 seconds while you sprint down the stairs in the car, note to self. But yeah, giving yourself grace for that moment, giving your baby grace for their hard moment. All of that I'm able to do because I took care of myself first. I did not prioritize getting the cantaloupe cut up or getting all the sunflowers in this position I want them to be, or cleaning out the car, or picking the hymns. I took care of me first so that if my kids woke up in the middle of my to-do list, I wouldn't be unable to mom at the level they need me to be their mom. So yeah. Nowhere on that list, however, was making a TikTok about it, so might have been able to get a little bit more done if I hadn't decided to tell you how I get stuff done. But say la vie.